Hola, we're going to do an exercise of frases con cognados. So phrases, yes, you're right, phrases. Con means with, and cognados, cognates, as we saw in the previous video. One thing I'm going to give you as a tip is if you learn a word, you write it down, okay? For example, you just learned the word con, which means with. Let's start. There's 10 sentences in here. So the first one says, La universidad es famosa. What is expected from you? You're going to write down the words in English. That's a translation to this sentence, right? And you're going to figure out the meaning of each word. Now, if there's one or two words you don't know, don't worry. Just write down what comes to mind according to whatever word you know or understand. So I'm going to give you some time. Do you have anything written down? One, two words maybe? So let's unveil the meaning. The university is famous. Okay? Universidad, university, and then famosa, famous. So if you had university, you had famous or university famous, you're on the right track. You're not expected to know the other words, but you just learned that es means is, right? So you write it down somewhere. And if you want to also write down that la means the, kudos, you have more done. Sentence number 2. Yo practico el béisbol mucho. Try to figure out, try writing down as many words as you can. Be creative. This will help you with your reading in Spanish. Okay? Are we ready? So yo practico el béisbol mucho. I practice baseball a lot. Mucho, you probably thought much, right? But how do we put it in correct English or proper English? We say a lot. There we go. I practice baseball a lot. Let's go with number 3. Necesito estudiar matemáticas. Again, don't worry if you don't know every single word. Okay, so let's look at that meaning. I need to study math. Necesito sounds like necessity, right? So, well, if you have necessity, great, because it looks like and actually means the same. I need, right? Estudiar and study. Remember, I just told you in the other video that whenever you have a word that has two consonants like st, you're gonna have that e in front. So if you remove that e and you have that st, it looks a lot like study. Matemáticas, we love those long words with a lot of syllables in Spanish. In English, you just go ahead and say math instead of mathematics, right? But it's the same meaning. Let's not worry about that. Number 4. Tengo un problema con mi computadora. Again, I don't expect you to know tengo, but I expect you to know what problema and computadora means. So let's go ahead and write down whatever comes to mind that you think it may mean. Couple more seconds. And there we go. I have a problem with my computer. I have is tengo. So you can write it down somewhere, right? Un, right? You can also write it down somewhere. Problema, problem. We already knew from the first slide that con means with. And then my computer, mi computadora. You can also write down my and me somewhere. Okay? Hay muchos peces en el océano. Again, I don't expect you to know what I means, but the other ones you can figure out really easily. So I'm going to give you 6 seconds, okay? Okay, so let's see what you wrote. There's lots of fish in the ocean. There is, or there are, right? So you write it down somewhere. Muchos, you can say much, but meanings a lot. It means a lot, right? Peces, fish. Peces, it looks like the word Pisces, right? From the horoscope. And then océano and ocean are kind of similar. And we already talk about en and in, right? Or didn't we? Well, anyway, now you know. En and in, that's the meaning. Número 6. Hay un elefante gris en el circo. Hint, you already know the meaning of I. Okay, do we have something written down? We know that there is, right? There's a gray elephant in the circus. And you can see that elefante gris is written like that because in Spanish you need to say what you're talking about and then you give the characteristic. In English, you give the characteristic and then what you're talking about. A gray elephant, elefante gris. So if you have, there's a elephant gray, that's good Spanish, but it's bad English, right? And then en el circus, circo. Perfect. There we go. Número 7. Producen carros rápidos en Europa. I think this is an easy one, but I'm going to give you some time, okay? Okay, there we go. What do you have? Let's compare. They produce fast cars in Europe. Again, carros rápidos will be like rápidos carros, right? Or car fast. Cars fast. They produce fast cars in Europe. If you had rapid, which means fast, that's correct. That's an awesome guess. Okay? Let's go with number 8. Mi familia es enorme y complicada. This is an easy one, but I'm gonna give you some time. Okay, what do you have written down? My family is enormous and complicated, right? So you just learn in here that E means and. So you write it down somewhere. We already know that S is, me is my. Now we have familia, you can figure out that word, and then the other two are pretty similar. Okay, let's go with 9. Muchas naciones compiten en las Olimpiadas. This one is not that easy. I'm going to give you some time, more time than before, okay? Okay, let's see. What do you have? Let's unveil the meaning. Many nations compete in the Olympic Games. If you have much nations, right? That is the right meaning, but you want to write it in English. That makes sense, right? So many nations, a lot of nations, that will be correct also. Compete and compete. And in las Olimpiadas, in English, you say the Olympic Games. There we go. And then last but not least, number 10, mis amigos son inteligentes y artísticos. This one is easy, especially if you know the meaning of the word amigos. Okay, are we ready? Let's go and check that meaning. Mis amigos son inteligentes y artísticos. My friends are intelligent and artistic. If you find the word smart or you put the word smart because you knew what intelligent means, it's absolutely fine. Now you have that me was my, so mis is my too, right? So now you learn that son means are. That's another thing. You already knew that e and are the correct meaning, okay? So that's how you learn Spanish. You cannot try to guess meanings by what you already know. And these little words you're learning right now, you add them to your notebook and you study them, and that's the way you build on language. Okay? Good luck.